I think it's recording. Good morning. First, I want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. So I spent much of so my wife and I are both under the weather. She's I think on the final leg. I'm going into the worst part, which is congestion, etc. So I tried to play as much play action football as I could yesterday. I finished 16 games, doing it with my homebrew tweak. The bottom line is this: I finished the first week of the 1991 season very quickly because I was using a tweak. And the reality is, I finished it. We then did dinner and watched a movie and relaxed and enjoyed our Christmas Eve. I woke up bright and early this morning at 4 o'clock. Came in here and decided the game is too good to play it tweaked. So I'm going to start it over and I'm going to play it. The only thing I'm going to do uh, differently from the rules is I'm going to leave it at 16 possession games, so 4 possessions per quarter. So it will be, though games will be shorter. That means it'll be lower scoring, which means we may see more low scoring or more shutouts, and I'm okay with that. The game is fantastic. For those who don't know, this is Clark and Addison Game Company's uh, big football game. And when I say big, I don't know how many files came in the zip. So for 20 bucks, I bought the 1991 set. You get the rules for that. You get the teams. You get the play chart. You get it all, including the head-to-head pieces like cards that you would use for head-to-head play when I'm calling a defense and you're calling an offense. You also get rules for momentum cards, which I'm not using. I don't like momentum, and I don't like to add any bells and whistles to my solo stuff. I like to roll automated and go. It's got run heavy automatic play calling. It's got balanced play calling, and it's got pass heavy play calling. So whether you're playing strategy, uh, per snap, per quarter, whatever, if you're saying, hey, this team on this drive is going to go run heavy, you could use run heavy charts, and that team might be trying to chew clock. You've got tons of options. For $20 PDF, a zipped file, it's sent to you immediately via email, or you think you can download it immediately. And I tell you now, it's even got the full schedule is in the package. So if you don't know where to get the schedule, there it is. It's also preset for the fast sim. So he's got the modifiers for, I think it's preset on the schedule for the fast sim game, which is included in the set for the 1991 teams for scoring and a little fast sim game based on possessions. Clark and Addison is fantastic. For those of you who have it, you'll know. Um, uh, what I love about it is it's all right in front of me, right? Yeah, there's some charts for kickoffs and special teams and penalties, but it's all right there. One die roll, damn near so one handful of dice for every snap resolves almost everything. Sometimes you got to pick it up and roll again to see if there's a D10 added to the yardage or a D6 added to the yardage, or if there's a sack for how many yards lost. But that doesn't gob the game down. It's all so fast, so friendly, um, full of options, and you could tweak a game like this to your heart's content. You really can homebrew the heck out of this football game. I don't think it needs anything. I literally have played 16 games in my first day of owning it. And never once was I compelled to change the rules. Never once did I think, oh, I don't like that. Or never once did I think, you know what, this would be better. Not one time. All I was doing was trying to play the games faster. At first, if the first couple of games were an hour, 20 minutes or so, and I got some results, and I thought, if I'm going to play a game this long, I think. So I jumped the gun and made a couple of decisions after only 2 games, which is I always tell people, dude, play the game before you start tweaking, play the game before you make judgments. They were not negative judgments. They were just, I think the game's too defensive to warrant a long playtime, right? If that makes sense, right? This morning I started fresh. I've only got 1 game under my belt, but I am going to use 16 possessions, although it means the games will be truncated and it means the scores will be lower. I like my games to be balanced. So no matter whether they're my games or Stratomatic or Appa or now this, I will play them all at 16 possessions. And it kind of gives me a way to gauge the quality of the football, right? Does Apple produce more scoring with 16 possessions than maybe it should? What the hell is that? Explorer, get the hell out of here. Anyway, uh, long story short, and this, by the way, all done with a low grade temp, head cold, and I'm absolutely hooked. I got hooked on it, bastardized the bastardized kind of the kickoff possession rules to speed up the game. But I woke up this morning and said, no, I want to see kickoffs. I want to see kick returns. I want to see punts. I want to see punt returns. I had home tweaked out all of that and just gave the offenses the ball in a certain position on the field and just played out those drives. They were incredibly fun. Again, it shows you I was able to tweak the game heavily in that sense, not the rules, just where offenses get the ball on the field. So I just cut out all that extraneous punting and kicking it, and the game was incredibly fun. And that's a sign that everything about the engine is remarkable. Problem is, not problem, the wonderful thing is it's too damn good to do that. And so I'm enjoying it as it is, a full simulator, no tweaks, no homebrews. I am just shortening the quarters from, I think he recommends 5 or 6 possession quarters. He recommends ticking a clock. He has time team, but he says if you don't want to do that, use possessions, 5 or 6. In his fast play game, it is 12 possessions per team per game. So you're going to get 12 in the fast play game. So that's pretty much standard for NFL history, is about 11 to 12 possessions per team per game, right? I think we're all in agreement on that. I like to use 4 for balance, and it keeps the scores tolerable for me, and more importantly, it allows me to finish games in about 45 minutes to an hour. Anyway, this morning, started all the way over after I finished 16, first week done, scrapped all of that, started fresh. Uh, Atlanta at Kansas City had a brilliant game. Atlanta lost 7. Atlanta scored 7. Kansas City scored 31. They intercepted Chris Miller 3 times in that game. DeBerg threw 2 picks, but also threw 3 touchdowns. It was a fantastic game, and I cannot wait to replay all of 91. When I say replay, I'm going to replay the schedule. I don't collect statistics, and I'm not trying to replay, who started and who got all the carries. None of that. I'm not even tracking stats. I just track box scores. I just track scores. I just want to see the competition. And I enjoyed it so much yesterday. I'm willing to start over and do it all the same way properly from, through the thing. So, the last piece of this video, hopefully people watch it through so they're not confused later. Because of this, I will be deleting the play action football videos I already put up. I don't know. I think I've got 5 of them up. I will be deleting those, so don't be shocked when those are gone. I will be replacing them with new videos playing the game the same way all the time, and also giving the game all of its love as far as kickoffs, kick returns, punt returns. So you'll see the entirety of the game and the mechanism. Uh, Again, I don't normally review games until I've played quite a bit more, but 16 complete games yesterday and another one this morning, or 2 more this morning, and then I changed my mind. So was it 18 games already in 24 hours, basically? In one 12-hour day, I played and recorded, I think 5 or 6. Um, I can say without unequivocally, this is for $20, fantastic option for tabletop football, especially solitaire. I love the automated play calling charts. I don't do anything else. I roll that and I take it. I take it for what it is. If Atlanta on 3rd and 2 or 3rd and 4 happens to go outside, they go outside. And again, Atlanta's got to live with the poor play calling from Glanville and co. Right? Fantastic. So I wholly recommend it. If you're looking for a game that's it's not free, but it's not expensive. Now, granted, you have to turn around then and print it, and that cost me another, I think, $11 to print what I printed. So I paid 31 with tax, $32 for this. Got a complete season, all 28 teams, options galore, the rule book, everything. And I didn't print out the rule book. I'm not going to print out 29 pages. I don't need to print out. I've read the rules. There might be 1 or 2 things that I might need to bone up on or whatever. Well worth it. So, number one, play action football is already I've said this before. It's been a good year. Full on football by Dale just blew my mind. Drive time football by John Turnbull is fantastic. And now to be playing play action football by Clark and Addison. If I had to pick from those three games, game of the year, um, that would be a hard call for me. They're all totally different. Full on football is a complete abstraction of football. Not it's phenomenal how it achieves what it achieves in a very simple game engine, but I can't compare it to anything else. And drive time football is a brilliant possession by possession game with all the detail and depth that I would want for matching teams up for fast play games, right? And then you look at play action football, and it is remarkable. And I waited a long time to get it. I had my eye on it over the last 6 months or so while he was putting on videos, and while he was I think he'd put out even a demo set, which I never touched. I don't deal with demos. I don't mind beta testing if somebody's asked me, hey, would you beta test a game of mine? And I'll beta test a little bit. But I don't want to play beta games. I don't want to play demos. I want to either buy the thing or not play the thing. And if I get it and I play it, so be it. And the 91 season is one of my favorite seasons. So just there it was. Of the choices he has available, that was for me, that and 85, which I haven't bought yet. I'll eventually get 85. I would like to see him do a couple of more seasons. I'd love to see him do a couple of, go back to the golden age of the NFL, maybe go back and do a 50s, 60s, 70s. Maybe he'll work on that. I don't know. Um, how the teams are rated is simple, unsophisticated, but effective. What I love about the cards is the ratings are simple. You don't need the cards. All you need are their ratings. You just need whether offense or defense, and whether they're in a 3-4 or 4-3. That's it. That's all the teams are rated on, plus a place kicker. Everything else on those cards is just who touches the ball on a pass, a catch, or a touchdown, or a sack, or an interception. So all that you really need to play the game is their offensive score rating, their defensive rating, and their base defense, and their place kicker values, right? For how well the place kicker kicked field goals and extra points. Nothing else on those cards contribute to the production on the game charts. And that is amazing to me. It took me 4 games before it dawned on me that the only ratings that was impacting play was offense, defense, and of course, play calls, right? So what that does is those ratings, you think, oh, a +1 offense and a -1 defense. Well, that +1 in modifying a 2D10 roll is epic. A +3 is big epic. So what that does is it puts the onus on the play calls, right? Am I calling the right offense versus the right defense? And all of a sudden, the play call matchup at the line of scrimmage is that much more important. That to me is fantastic. I've talked about it before. What is it about Apple that works that's so great? Well, the charts include the results, right? That's assuming everything is taken into account: offensive linemen, defense, play calls, etc. However, you can fine tune that in head-to-head play with greater master collection stuff, right? So Apple goes from a basic roll the dice, get it off the charts, it'll work, to a much more intricate head-to-head strategy game, right, with bells and whistles. When I see a game that, in my opinion, this is primarily a solitaire game. However, no doubt it has head-to-head features with cards and play calling, etc. But for me, I play solitaire. That's all I want to play. Don't really have a local friend that I would sit down and play with. If I did, I would if they were interested. But it's not that I wouldn't play head-to-head. I don't have any local friends who'd be interested in sitting down and playing a tabletop sports game. So I play 99% of my 99.9999999 of my time is solitaire. So I either want a single die roll that directs everything for me, so I don't feel like I'm involved or impacting play, or I want to see that matchup of the offensive play call versus the defensive play call impacting the actual play results. And this game does that brilliantly, and it's automated. So again, I don't have to affect play. I roll the dice. It tells me what the Chiefs called. It tells me what Atlanta calls. I know what base defense they're in. I do the matchups. I do the ratings. I'm doing math in about half a second, and then I'm attributing that math immediately to the 2D20 roll, and I'm looking up on the chart the appropriate play, and bam, and all of it makes the game smooth as silk. fantastic. You can see him play it on his channel, of course, Clark and Addison's YouTube channel. He has a tutorial series of videos, which I've never watched. I mean, I've seen parts of them over the last few months when I was investigating it. I do not, um, in any way, shape, or form, regret this purchase. As a matter of fact, there have not been any full tabletop football sims outside of Apple football that I've played 10 games in a day. Right, Apple football, when I first got it, I started playing it. I was playing, once I started working on my charts, I was knocking out Apple games 5, 6 a day when I had a day off or I had time off. Yesterday, I literally knocked out 16 games. That should tell you something. It is addicting. It is fun. It is worth watching because that's what you're doing. You're rolling dice and you're seeing how, what's Atlanta doing on this play, and oh man, Derek Thomas, big sack, whatever. I cannot recommend it enough for people who want this style of game. Right now, if you're expecting the quarterback to have ratings that impacts play, no. If you're expecting the left defensive end to have a rating that impacts play, no. Right? It is a total team ratings, your offensive value, your defensive value, and your base defense, right? And that in conjunction with an offensive play and a defensive play call gives you an effect upon the dice. And man, um, so I talk about this in baseball. The number one mechanic for baseball games is pitcher batter, right? I mean, most baseball games are always pitcher batter thing, right? We expect to see the pitch, we expect to see the bat at bat, right? I think that's 99% of baseball board games. That is the primary mechanic, pitcher batter mechanic. Then fielding might come into play, stealing bases, all that kind of stuff. And then there's games that are abstract like mine where there's no pitcher. There kind of is a pitcher batter. You just roll for the inning and see what the score is. So there are those kind of baseball games too. But for the most part, you're seeing Stratomax pitcher affect batters and batters affect the pitchers in almost all of these tabletop. Well, it's rare, unless it's a head-to-head base football game, you're going to see the impact of a defensive call on an offensive call or vice versa. And then, of course, team ratings also impacting every snap. So you're talking about strategy games that require another effect, like a solo play calling chart, or I'm going to be calling plays and randomly randomizing the defensive play call. And that all works. I've done it with Stratomatic. I've done it with Paydirt. I've done it with, you name it, we've done it. I like to see a game that's built this way, right? It's built already making assumptions. This is how you're going to play the game. And therefore, it's almost a streamline. We make some assumptions and the game has some conceits that this is literally from ground up the way it was designed, as opposed to Stratomatic being a head-to-head game. And then they go, well, how can we make this solitaire? And it's like the solitaire piece feels tacked on later. Ball football was designed to be a head-to-head game way back in the day. And it's like the head-to-head X's and O's and strategies and plays that were added on all feel tacked on later. And they work and they're all great, but the games weren't designed from the table up from a certain position. And play action football appears to have been designed to take all these elements into play. So I have to say, if I was scoring this in the game of the year, it would be right now. And again, we're near the end of the year here, and I've talked about it before. It's been a good year. However, I've only purchased a couple of games, and I've only had a couple of new games, and um, I would say right now, play action football may edge Stratomatic and Apple for my big boy simulator. Uh, However, unfortunately, won't be here before the end of the year. Season ticket football is on its way. I purchased season ticket football a week ago before I picked up play action. So I anticipated that I would have them both around Christmas. Unfortunately, it just didn't work out that way. So I won't have play action probably till tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, maybe next week. I don't know. So season ticket football, I won't have, excuse me, play action I got and printed out yesterday or the day before, and then was able to play all the games yesterday and do this review. Season ticket didn't get here before Christmas Eve, and so I'll probably be again tomorrow or Saturday or maybe next week. Um, I have great hopes for season ticket becoming the tabletop football simulator of choice for my serious um, NFL replay stuff. It looks remarkable. However, I've not played 1 minute of it. I have seen the rule book, the free PDF rule book. I've read the rules. Um, like everything, until you start dropping dice and getting a feel of the rhythm of the game, I don't know if it's disjointed or not. I have watched a couple of other people play it on YouTube, and I felt it felt disjointed in some of them. And then I saw Curtis's videos, and Curtis really makes it shine. So, Curtis, for those who don't know Curtis on YouTube, is it Curtis Roberts? Shoot, I think that's, I'm sorry if I forgot your last name there, but anyway, he's started covering the game back when beta, I think it was a beta 6 months ago, and his videos I thought did a really good justice to the quality of the game and the flow of the game. But until I physically play it myself and I see how the I extrapolate the dice, I take that data in and how can take that data to the teams, to the players, back to the dice, back to the results to move the ball. If it's cumbersome or if there's a poor flow of play, etc., all of those things impact whether I'll ever play a game again. There's been a lot of brilliant games out there that they just have a horrific flow of play in which I'm going here, 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 and here to get a result for 2 yards, or um, and I'll tell you, what may hurt season ticket football is I got it after play action. So I don't know which one I would have liked more had I gotten season ticket and started playing it over this break, fever and all, sick and all, and love it. Then it might have affected play action football. The irony is my first experience has been play action football, and the games, although are going to be a lot different as far as in bringing in player ratings in season ticket football, as again, you're just doing play calls and team ratings, play calls, and adjusting the die roll to get your yardage results, and that's it for play action football, and it's smooth as heck. Season ticket is going to add the player. It's going to add that rating check, right? It's going to add the defensive rating check or the offensive player rating check. So that's a whole nother level of minutia, a level of depth that could be wow, or could be and again, this is one of the reasons I named my game company Candlelight Games, because I've always reviewed games. Is the game worth the candle? And what that means is back in the day, it was expensive to burn a candle, and you weren't going to read a book if it wasn't a good book and burn your candle. You weren't going to spend your candle on a game or on a book. So, is the game worth the candle? Has always been my review quality. Is it worth burning down the very expensive tallow candle, right? Or wax candle, whatever it was back in the day, tallow, I think, to stay up and experience the thing in the dark, right? And play action football, definitely worth the candle. Apple football, definitely worth the candle. And Stratomatic, definitely worth the candle. And uh, um, I'm talking about big simulations. Second season football, Cold Snap. These are the big sims. Unfortunately, they're not worth the candle for me. And I'm sure it's because I'm flipping through charts. I'm doing a lot of machinations to get a 1 yard run. I'm doing a lot of machinations, flipping charts back and forth to find out that it's a overruled video review, you know? And I understand the detail, and I understand there are people who love that level of detail and commitment to the game. That's a lot for me. That's a lot of work for certain results. I love the detail, but I like that detail to come very fast. And play action football gives me some of those details, but faster, right? So you can imagine season ticket is either going to fall into the second season camp, brilliant, dedicated, rich with details, but might be too cumbersome to make it worth the candle for me. And This has been part of my problem with games like, again, games that are fantastic, but just I can't put 3 or 4 games together in a row. You know, I'm trying to think of the other one that I really like that I just cannot. It doesn't inspire fun when I play it like play action. I mean, play action was so fun. I played 16 games, right? So fun. I was trying to shorten it to get more done. I wanted the game shorter so I could play more of them. That's the key for me, right? That fun factor. And does it feel like football? Does it walk like football, talk like football? Does it smell like football? Do I feel like I'm seeing the Falcons and the Chiefs going at it, right? And then you've won my imagination. When you win my imagination, and I can get through the games and I'm seeing it and I'm experiencing it and I can't wait to do it again, then you've got something there. And this year, I've been lucky, considering I have had so few new games this year because I've been working on my games all year long. Full on football coming late, drive time football from Powder Blue Sports coming late, and then me picking up play action football. It's been a brilliant final month of the year for me. I can't complain about these three new games. Play action though, right now wins in the sense that it's a big boy sim. I mean, it's everything, every down, every snap, every kick, every punt, every field goal, every PAT. Fantastic. Season ticket football won't get here before the end of the year, probably. And even if it does, I don't know if I can play enough games to give it a legitimate review. But if I had to say it now, play action football is worth $20. It's worth the other 10 or 12 to print it. I would love to see him with more team sets because here's the thing: if this like Apple, Apple won me over, and I was addicted to it for years. And the season sets were very expensive, so I would buy some and I'd play the hell out of them, and then I would trade them or sell them on eBay or whatever. And I've only kept a handful of my favorite seasons out of all the Apple stuff that I have. And then the ones that have been gifted to me, of course, I've played the hell out of, and then I put those safely away for later dates, and I want to play some more or whatever. So those have been nice. Um, Second season, I've been through periods where I bought a lot of seasons and then, gifted a lot of seasons because I play second season express with those teams and those seasons. I don't play second season itself. But the point is this, the only thing that would slow down my want to enjoy play action football for long term, I'm talking over years, is going to be the availability of seasons. So hopefully we're going to see a few more seasons come out that aren't all in the 2020s because modern football I'm least excited about. I would love to see, you don't have to make every freaking year. You don't have to make it decades. You don't have to make 5 seasons in a decade. A couple of 50s sets, a couple of 60s sets, a couple of 70s sets. And you get a flavor for those eras, for those decades, for those styles of football. And that would work for me. So anyway, I want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. I will try to be back on here sharing videos. Again, first thing here, video. This in a way is a review of play action football. I give it a must own for guys who want to play full sims. If you don't want to play full sims, you're not a replayer. It is what it is. Um, but it's a must own, I think, for us serious football guys, for me, play action football. And I am going to be removing the videos that are up now because they're doing it. I think they do a slightly disservice to the game and maybe a little bit because I want to replay and put up some of those games, the Eagle game over and some of these games over, playing it closer to playing it rules as written, just with shorter quarters. Okay. All right, everybody. Happy holidays. Bye. I have no idea. How do I stop this? There we go.